This
Rocket Child.
is Rocket Child.
Rocket Child. Rocket Child. It's Rocket Child.
Rocket Child. Yeah.
Hey, welcome. My name is Rocket Child, and in this video, I'll be talking about how to use models to help with storyboarding and animation. So before we get started, I just want to say that I'm holding a contest when we reach the next 2,000 subscribers for a free commission artwork. So if you are not subscribed, please subscribe now to the channel. Anyway, let's get going. Yeah. I'm going to be using two different examples, one as a character and the other one as a background. In this scene, I want to animate a knight running towards another knight, and I want to use pan around camera angle. That's quite a complex shot and difficult, especially when you start designing camera movements. In this situation, I got a horse statue, I got a posable doll, which is Harry Potter, and I put a pencil in his hand to be like a lance. So it's really simple. You don't have to go and get any specific special artistic posable dolls or anything. You could just go to the toy store and find a character that has joints such as in the knees or in the hips and the elbows and pose it how you like. Over here is a piggy bank that I had, and that was to be a marker for myself, so I have a point of reference. Again, you don't have to have perfect models that look exactly how you want, but you just want to have something in similar size and scale that you could use as reference. So I got my phone. I put the model actually on a Lazy Susan turntable, so if I needed to move it around, and I got low on the ground, so I had the camera angle that I wanted to replicate and just filmed different angles of the model. I filmed slowly because that way when I study the footage, I'm able to see clearly what the shots look like, and then I could take screenshots and use it as reference for the artwork. By having a 3D model, it also gives me the ability to try out different angles. I may not use them, but at least I know that the option is available. And also horses are hard to draw, so it's very helpful to have a model. So in my animation, I want that the statue of a knight comes alive and then he starts charging forward. Based on the reference, this is how it looks. So these are just the storyboard frames. The detail of the knight isn't there quite yet, but here you could see the movement, and when I put it together into this animatic, you have that dynamic feel to the scene. So that's one. That's using models to help you develop characters. The next example I'm going to use is a setting. I want to draw a background of inside a cathedral. Here you can see from this reference photo that the design's repetitive. You have the arches that go on. In each arch there are windows that are symmetrical, these 4 ones, and then you have the 3 ones up here, not to mention all the columns. So when you have perspective, there's actually a formula on how to properly measure perspective. I find that it's really boring to do it properly. But also in animation, you're not just drawing this one angle, or at least I don't want to just draw this one angle. I want to be able to see these corridors from different angles. So a way that I do that, here's a sketch by the way, up here is the corridors that I want to work on. What I did is I made a 3D model. I went into Photoshop and just made how I thought the corridors would look on a frontal angle, and I minimized the detail to basic shapes. I have these frames here. Inside you have the windows and you have some columns. Then I formatted it into this shape where you cut along these lines here and you fold them inwards, That way you have a rectangle basically when you print it out. So I made several of these rectangles based on the Photoshop file, and the way the image wraps around is you have this long face and then you have a smaller face here on the corner. It's not meant to be perfect, but it is able to help with the way perspective changes. So I printed enough of these rectangles, put them together, and I have this corridor. Then using a GoPro type of camera, I pushed it through to have this sort of immersive experience. In the same way as before, I'm filming slowly so that way when I review the footage, I'm able to understand what it is I'm looking at. This is also why I didn't put too much detail into it, is having too much detail can be confusing. You just want to have the basic shapes so that when you go back into drawing, you're able to add that afterwards. But you'd have the foundation, which is this perspective we see here. So these are the shots that were inspired by the models. Also, if you choose to, you could use desk lamps to be able to control lighting, and that will also help you in research. You don't always have to use like physical things. If you are adapted it, you can use 3D modeling software as well to construct characters and backgrounds. I've used The Sims as reference for artworks as well. It just depends what you're familiar with. What you can do is build a house that you like, so you have a kitchen and have all the furniture as you like. Then using the camera tool, you can rotate however you want and then take screenshots so that you get the perspective you like. Or if you have a character, you can design your own sim in the style. That way, when you look at them from different angles, at least they're wearing the clothes or they have the hairstyle that's really similar. You also have a certain level of control. So here, like the sim is eating, he was dancing before. So you can get your sims to go into a pose that you like and then take screenshots. Or if you have a screen capturing device, you can record video so you get that motion as reference. The downside though is it is limited to the actions and the animations available within the Sims, or if you're doing specific type of action or specific type of animation, then this might feel limited, and then you would have to be inventive and come up with other ways to get reference. So yeah, I find that just having physical objects is easier. So for example, this is a piggy bank right here. I didn't need to go out and buy anything. I just used random items that I found. Whereas if you have a very complex character and you want to have reference in more detail, then you could either design or download 3D models that had that detail. So yeah, here are some tips on how to use models to do storyboarding and animation. Let me know in the comments below if you thought they were useful, or whether you do something similar or have your own different techniques that help you with reference. Anyway, thanks for watching. Ah, my hand! Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.